Welcome to Gamer's Guide to the Galaxy. But unfortunately, because Martyr is now watching on the chat over here, we're going to have to cancel the show.
Hey, everybody.
Just kidding.
Aw. You have to commit to the joke. You should just turn the
If
stream
you waited 2 seconds, I would have gone to the away screen.
There we go. Bye, everybody.
Alright, so welcome to Gamer's Guide to the Galaxy, the show all about all things gaming, and where you can also participate by chatting right over here.
As demonstrated by Marty Shot.
Yes. And yeah, we've got a very nice show today that we made up two seconds before the show started. And
that's Chris, this is Jacob, I'm Adam.
yeah, I've blown everything, okay? I
Yeah.
messed up everything. Alright.
Because Gamer Guys got
Gamer's Guide to the Galaxy. Yes.
Yes, before the show we found out that you need to put a T at the very
everything.
sentence.
Everything. Alright, we're not going to get the whole show.
Especially when you're talking about the plural of the word draft.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently it's drafts.
I mean, it is a great joke. Seamless.
Because when certain people say that word, it sounds like they're talking about an animal with a long neck.
Not me.
Are you the animal with the long neck of a certain person?
No, I've been called a giraffe before.
Really?
Yeah, I have a big neck.
Okay, moving.
Anyway.
Known to be called giraffe. And tree. Things have been called. Anyways,
Okay,
so back to things that Jacob doesn't know anything about.
yes. My first topic of today would be Hearthstone, Goblins and Gnomes.
You don't know how cards work?
No.
No? Okay.
No, see, I just keep on spending things with them, and then I eventually get my electricity turned off.
That's pretty much how it works, yeah.
Okay.
Apparently.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
So I can just go out and be like Exodia, and then like I'm in debt.
Obliterate.
You just obliterates my bank account.
Yeah.
That's how that works. All right.
Pretty much.
All right. Welcome to Magic the Gathering.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Except that you can email, Blizzard and find out exactly how much money you've spent.
Way too much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so Hearthstone was recently, as in up.
The sound you made.
Up. Alright,
I mean, we're stalling bad.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes into the show. We haven't even started talking about Hearthstone yet.
that's fine. Alright,
Yeah.
Hearthstone. Game about cards. Good. Excellent. We're great. 2 weeks ago, they came out with an expansion.
Nice.
And I've been playing the expansion, and it's fun. It's fun.
Now, as far as I understand card games, what kind of decks are you getting? Like, are they more aggro, more defense, ramp,
Well,
control?
there's a lot more. Recently, ever since the expansion, there's a lot more aggro.
All right, so they're quick in and out things.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow, that's always fun. It's a fun phase when aggro comes back into play for a while, because it limits the amount of annoyance I find, because you understand that you're gonna get beat down. I mean, it's an understanding. It's not like I go to do something and like against a control deck, and I'm just like, nope, I can't do that. I guess. Nope. Screw you. Try to play 6 things in a row. I couldn't.
Like the infinity thing that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So, I personally have been using a control-y kind of deck. I don't know. You've watched me play, Adam.
Yeah, I
one
watched you
with
play
the
a little.
one with the Shadow Boxer and the Knife
Yeah.
Juggler. I've been doing a lot of token damage.
It sounds like a really bad life choices.
Yeah.
Shadow Boxer, like does he just like shadow box in the mirror and that's like his life choice?
Nope.
And like the
Just-
Knife
just
Juggler,
sitting there.
and he's just like, yeah.
No,
So
see,
glad I decided to do this with my life.
All he does is he's the guy that does all the Rocky training montages. That's his life.
He plans them out.
He does them. Like they film him just doing like these training montages. He's like, dun-dun-dun.
And what, CGI Sylvester Stallone's face on there?
Yeah, that's all I do. He wears like
What am I gonna make the look?
that's all his life is.
Okay. So,
No, what they do is they'll do like 1 damage based on certain things. Like every time you heal, the Shadow Boxer will do 1 damage to a random enemy.
Nice.
And every time you play a new minion, the Knife Juggler will do 1 damage to random enemies. So I've been trying to build the deck around that concept.
Yeah. So pretty much random takes the damage whenever you use something.
Yep.
So it's a control and so it's kind of like almost like a mill. It's mill damage.
Almost.
It's
Although
a way to explain it.
kinda.
Like
I'm
you
not
do
really
something.
milling them though.
I know, but like it's the same trigger concept where it's
Mhm.
like you do anything, damage.
Yep.
You do anything, damage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's exactly it.
Throwback
IR.
Tuesday. And this is why you've never seen a show before because we don't use hashtags. Except that one.
Well, I have to on Twitter.
No, you don't.
Do you want people to know about the show?
I mean,
Okay.
So, I have not been playing Goblins and Gnomes because I'm still very
Noob.
noob to Hearthstone.
Noob. Yeah, you're a noob. I know.
Yes.
You watch me play.
and I don't play them.
You watch Mike play probably too.
No, I don't watch Mike play.
Okay,
I watched you play because you were happened to be on while I was on. And I was thinking of getting off, and I was like, I'll watch Chris play.
You watch me play a few games though.
Yeah. I didn't feel like playing anymore. That was why.
Yeah.
But
Creepy if you
and-
watch them.
I know you use a much different deck than I do. You use the priest. I use the mage.
I have a mech mage too.
Mech mage.
I
That
like
sounds
that.
fun.
I like the deck. That's a very control deck that I.
Well,
It's
we would
very,
be
very,
friends.
very controlly.
See, I just have a deck
There's a
where
lot of big things later in the game.
I just have a deck where if I have 10 mana, I can pretty much whittle your health down to nothing. But I have no idea how good that would actually be. It saved me a couple times.
Alright, so.
But what is Goblins and Gnomes brought that's different?
Lots of RNG factor.
Ah, the RNGs.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
But Jesus, the game.
Like-
Now, whenever you try to play,
RNG.
it tells you gotta turn the other cheek, and then you get smacked and lose. Watch Michael lose, not play. Playing the plays, he might actually win.
And then there's the troll.
Okay.
There's the troll.
That's fine.
I think I don't have to do the face. I want to know.
He's talking about Mike, not
I know. I want
me
to know. How to,
anyway, but-
I want to know how to do the face.
Yeah, how do you do the face? Tell us how to do the face. So, well, I'm waiting for the face. Tell me how to do the face.
The
Look, it's
important
only an
thing.
hour-long show.
What? We got time.
No, we don't.
Look, we got plenty of time.
No, we don't.
Plenty of
No,
time.
no. Yeah, we don't have time for this. Ain't nobody got time for that. Come on.
Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time
Got
for
bigger
that.
topics to go to.
All right, so there's a series. So there's a series of minions. There's the one that's a cost 4, and then if it dies, it automatically generates a random cost 2 minion. There's one that's cost 6 that automatically generates a cost 4, and then there's a legendary one that automatically generates a random legendary when it dies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's actually that's a scary
So
one.
pretty much that one is probably your prime suspect to do like a self kill, where you bring it on, you're like, screw it, and then you just bring out a random awesome thing.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep,
I like
pretty
that.
much.
Yeah. Now you don't need. Do you need to buy the expansion to play people that have these cards?
No.
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 So I think I faced a couple of these cards actually.
Yeah, you probably have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's any card that's in the game you can potentially encounter.
Okay.
Now, what do you think is more fun, as not just in Hearthstone, but as a general gaming standpoint? Things that are always generated a certain way, or things that are less up to an RNG?
I think the RNG factor is important.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying like it has to be strictly like, oh, this thing drops from this every time, but like for example, say you're in a game, and you know what I mean, you kill a certain enemy, and only have a chance to drop like 3 different things, and within those 3 different things, they can be randomized, but it only drops those 3 specific things. Do you think that's better than kill something and have a chance to drop anything in the spectrum based on an RNG?
Well, let's go with this. In my deck, I have a card. When you play it, it randomly generates any creature card in the game and puts it in your hand for 3 less mana cost. This has made or broke games for me. This has made or broke games for me. Suddenly I'm getting like something that costs 7 mana and it only costs 4 to play. And it's a very powerful creature. Sometimes I got something that costs 3 mana and it's free to play, but it's not the greatest card in the game. And I was really hoping that this would win me the game, but okay.
Yeah, but do you think that's a more fun?
I
Not
think
even
it's-
that more fun, but it's what's the word? Do you think it makes the gameplay better?
I find it more fun because when it comes out to like this, amazingly strong creature, it's like, yeah, this guy's gonna hate me. And when it comes out to be something okay, it's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Well, in that example, yeah, no matter what, you're getting something decent. Like that's an RPG that always gives positives. For example, I play Binding of Isaac, where that game's all RNG.
Yeah, it is.
Everything's RNG. Like even the room that you're in is RNG. Like you have a map layout that's RNG'd, then the room's RNG'd, and then the item drops off those things are RNG'd, and then all your items that you get in the game are RNG'd. So everything is RNG'd. So I've had games where, like, I open up to the game, it's got all the things that you want on that floor in one room. Like I can get access to them from one room on 4 sides. Get all I want, get out of that floor, and be super powerful on the next floor. And there's games where I have 100 coins, no shops, because I can't find a shop because I don't have a key. And I've gotten range upgrades, and then damage down upgrades. And that's it. And I'm just like, oh, thank you, RNG, for completely giving me horse crack.
I think it brings more playability to the game if you know it. It's like it's gonna be this or this.
But
And
that's what I'm asking.
you're gonna get both eventually. But if it's gonna be like
Well, not even both.
there's
actually,
no
like,
telling what I will get and how much I will get of that or anything. Kind of a fun surprise, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
but what I'm trying to say is like,
it can be a frustrating surprise.
yeah.
It can be a frustrating surprise,
do you
but
prefer to ride out the frustration of those type of games as to something a little bit more safe? Like, for example, even something where you can just grind to get something. You know what I mean?
well,
I
are we
think.
talking about Destiny?
All right, I think.
Not necessarily.
I think you need a middle ground. Because I think if you go just totally random, it's no different than just flipping a coin, trying to have fun by
Right.
flipping a coin repeatedly.
Well,
Yeah.
flipping a coin or rolling 100-sided
So, like,
dice
a
and hoping
nice-
for one.
Same difference, really,
Yeah.
when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you have a game that's completely linear,
It's very
it's
boring.
completely linear. It's
Yeah.
not going to be,
It's like go here, shoot this, done.
yeah.
Get better weapon, go here, shoot this, done.
Like
Oh
the
my
joke,
god.
like the joke a friend of mine
Final
made.
Fantasy 13.
Actually, a joke a friend of mine made about Final Fantasy X. He had for a while there, when he had a Facebook, he was like, under favorite movies, he wrote Final Fantasy X. He loves the game, but
Yeah.
he thinks it's very linear.
Yeah.
Compared to old Final Fantasy
But-
games, it was very linear.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Is I think a healthy balance is probably what you need, and it sounds like that doesn't have many RNG factors, but I think that would add very fun aspects to the game where it's like, hey, I get RNG. You know what I mean? Maybe this game I'll get completely snowballed out of control because I got some random legendary that somehow fit what I have on the field perfectly.
Yeah.
Or it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it destroys all red creatures on the red deck.
Right.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean?
like the time I got something that was like, when it died, it like powered up all creatures with this ability. It's like, great. I have no creatures that fit that description.
Yep.
I hope he doesn't.
And kind of as a almost smooth segue,
Almost smooth like
we're going to move into our next topic, which the only way I can segue this is something that we also have to, I think, have in balance is morality choices. A lot of games like Fable, or not Fable,
Yeah.
that was,
Fable.
well, Fable, yes. But I'm trying to think of the other one.
Mass Effect.
Thank you. I was just thinking of 3. Also Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Half-Life 3.
But like Mass Effect, where you have choices.
Yes.
Did it tail just float by us on the screen?
I think
Maybe.
so.
I thought the camera was high enough, so I wouldn't notice her. But
But anyways, you know what I mean? Like these, and do you like the morality choices where it tells a slightly different story but you still reach the same end? or do you like the ones where it's completely different?
Well, if I'm gonna get the same ending no matter what, I'm really not gonna care about the morality choices, am I?
Well, not necessarily. Like, for example, in Fable 3, you still get the end goal. Your character ends up spec different. You know what I mean? And he looks different.
I mean, honestly, in the original Fable, if you weren't okay, it did not work, by the way. If you didn't go evil, it was hard to get money. But
Yeah, and I find that the evil route is almost always more profitable.
yeah, there was
It makes me feel like a
there was
douche.
a couple games where like the morality choices kind of just suck because, like for instance, Infamous Second Son, the morality choices chose which moose path you went on.
Yep.
And now, but it felt to me like once I picked a way to go, it was like stuck with that.
Yeah.
Trying to pull all the way back to neutral and then go the other way.
Oh, absolutely. I do both ways.
It was like impossible, and that it would be a long time without learning any new skills because you're not getting anything.
Yeah, I just did 2 different playthroughs. Personally.
I mean, it is a good enough game to do different playthroughs, but I didn't have time for that.
No. Your option. I know you moved back from the club.
You know what I'm gonna say?
What?
I know. Go ahead.
There's always Shadow the Hedgehog.
No.
Yep.
No, that's not a morality choice.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
You can choose, like in the first level even, you can choose to either murder the police officers or you can choose to fight the aliens. One or the other.
This is a really weird game in the Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's a choice. It's not even morality.
It's not even morality. It's just
You kill one thing or you kill the other.
Yeah, but
aliens are humans.
yeah, but whichever goal you achieve changes where you go too.
I understand, but I don't know. Personally, when I see a morality choice, there's a few factors that I go on. I almost always choose evil, by the way. Personally, I'm an evil choice person in games. I don't know if you guys know what you are, but I'm usually chaotic neutral or evil neutral, whatever.
That's just destroy everything and get everything.
Well, it's destroying everything that's like not like if it attacks me, I'm gonna kill you, or if I have the choice, I'm gonna choose evil. But I'm not gonna go out of the way to do evil things.
Actually, I do think there was one game where picking the evil path was not the easier choice.
But it almost always is, though. You know what I mean?
It is almost always is. But
Is-
I'm going all the way back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
That's a good game.
Choosing the evil path at the end of the game
Hmm.
made it that much harder to fight the final boss because instead of 2 or 3 allies, you have 1 against the final boss.
Yeah, but then you get lightning.
Yeah, you get lightning, but it's really not going to balance that out.
I don't know. Have you ever seen lightning? You've seen lightning?
Have you ever seen 2 Sith Lords sending lightning at each other? It really does nothing. It just
Yeah, but then you count out the lightning.
Have you seen that?
I mean, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Is that like a daily occurrence in your life? It's like,
Yeah, just driving to work and like, oh look, the Siths are fighting again.
Besides, Yoda can shoot lightning too. So I mean, what's?
Yeah, but they don't. They don't often shoot lightning.
Lightning is considered a dark side of the Force ability.
And
He can do it.
He can
He
do it,
can,
but he
but he
doesn't.
doesn't. And as a good person in that world, you don't.
If you notice, they don't use their Force powers often to just destroy things.
Yeah.
That's good. They use, like most of the time, they use them to go around things. A Sith will just be like, "Zzz," and then.
Yeah.
Whereas a Jedi will be like, "This is not the droid you're looking for,
The hell they are?
bitch."
No, we're looking for that one that spins with the ball on the bottom.
Yes, that ball,
I would look for that one.
which is like
But-
V8B or something.
You know what I mean? Do you think, personally, what do you ally with?
I don't know.
Are you the one neutral?
He goes the whole game
Yeah.
perfectly down the line. Whoops, I did something good. I better just kill this next person.
No, he doesn't do anything. He's just like,
Only if I'm forcing it. Typically I'll lean towards good.
see, especially the first playthrough. The first playthrough I'm almost always evil because it's almost always easier. Because, like for example, Fable, trying to get through that game when you're trying to be good means that one, you have less income. Especially on Fable 2, you have way less income because of the way the housing system works.
Oh yeah. You ever log into Fable 2 after like 3 years of not
Nope.
playing it?
No, never.
Really?
No.
You're gonna be rich as hell.
Anyways, so one, you get less money. So right off the bat, that's a huge thing in that game. 2, you have to make sure that you don't hit anybody. it's so hard in the game not with your, yeah, exactly, with your AoEs not to hit something. So
Yeah.
you really have to pick and choose where you fight. I just like going into a town and being like, that's the person I have to kill. Bang. In the middle of the street, nothing. Be like, hey, everyone, screw off. And then I walk away. It's so much easier. So especially when I'm trying to learn the game, learn the mechanics, learn how the thing plays, and all the intricacies of that particular game, I always tend to go evil.
Yeah.
Also, you also get really cool power-ups.
Yeah. Especially in a game like Infamous.
Yeah, Infamous definitely. My first playthrough was evil on that one, just because on that one actually evil was so much easier. You could do a one-hit instant headshot, and you do like 6 of them in a row, and you then get a thing where you smile up in the air and kill everything. It was so much easier.
Yeah, I actually went good my first time on that one, just because I wasn't sure if I was going to replay it, so I might as well actually go the harder route.
Mm-hmm. Not fun.
Yeah, it was more annoying. It was so much more annoying, and the good powers are so much less cooler. I mean, it is cool to like shoot someone in the legs and have them like just be trapped into the ground for who knows how long.
Actually, infinitely.
But apparently. I don't know if that's better or worse, actually.
The thing that I will say about that is proving my point of how much normally when you're trying to acclimate to being evil or good and acclimate to the game at the same time, if you're evil in that game, you get rewarded for killing civilians. So, for example, say we're having a big brawl. In that game, those happen on the streets every day.
Yeah.
There's people walking by as you're brawling. So I can literally, to keep a chain going up, just look at that person and shoot him in the head, and he dies, and then my chain stays. If I'm good, I actually have to then run around from cover, hit a person, like a bad guy, don't kill them, but trap them, and then not die at the same time. Whereas before, I just go bang, 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 super move.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is join the dark side. We have please.
Okay. And here's another question.
What you're saying.
What about games that suddenly throw a morality choice at you? It's like the only one in the entire freaking game.
I thought about it.
And it makes no sense. I'll bring up a couple instances. BioShock Infinite, when you're handed the ball at the beginning, who do you throw it at? The couple or this guy who gave you the ball to throw it at the couple? Well, guess what? No matter what you choose, it doesn't affect the game.
Yeah, it doesn't actually stop it.
The police come and grab you right away.
Well, it does.
There's a later scene where whoever you didn't throw it at, I think, hands you the ball, but it really doesn't.
They give you an item.
They give you an item, but it really doesn't affect the game in any way at all. And then there's Far Cry 3, which throws a random one at the very end of the game. That makes no sense.
There's the other weird choice in BioShock Infinite, which is the choosing the necklace. They make a big deal out of it, like whether it's the bird or the cage, which
I was wondering.
I imagine it influences the game later on.
I don't know. Did you choose bird or cage?
I chose bird.
So did I. Does anyone choose cage?
I play the game. So.
Anyone out there choose cage?
But
I don't think it affects the game at all.
I don't know why they gave that choice.
Make you think.
Well, not only that, but I mean, it's not only a game thing. Like, for example, personally, if I know it doesn't have any real weight in the game, it's not going to make my life harder, I actually tend to go good. And that's from somebody who typically goes evil because of ease in the way the game plays. Because, for example, in that case, it sounds like choosing the bird means that you choose the good side of that thing. I don't know.
I thought it had something to do with freedom or control.
I thought it might have had to do with the giant bird that tries to kill you constantly.
Well, I thought it had something to do with the fact that she's been locked in a cage her whole life. Which one?
Well, there's that too, but
and considering the ending of that game, that choice.
The game in general is just really, really, it's a extreme mindfuck.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at, is that the game itself there, I think, isn't trying to give you a different ending, per se, but kind of letting you choose your own moral dilemma. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Yeah, that might have been what that was going on.
Where you're sitting there and you stop for a second, you're like, why am I trying to be a dick for no reason? Or, I mean, what's the pros and cons of killing this innocent thing? Okay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you weigh it, and then, for example, say you kill it. And then for the rest of the game, you're like, but she killed the thing. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. Does anyone care if I spoil the ending of Far Cry 3? Anyone?
Kinda.
Anyone? Okay.
Wait, is that the new one?
No.
Okay, no.
No, it's the old one.
Spoiler alert from
Don't-
watching.
yeah. You don't want to. You might want to mention, spoilers. Spoilers.
Well, at the very end of Far Cry 3, you get your first and only
You ruined it.
morality choice throughout the entire game. The people that you've been helping on the island hand you a knife and point to your girlfriend who's tied up, and your friends as well, but your girlfriend mostly, and they tell you to kill her. And your choice is either to slit her throat or cut her free. You cut her free, you all go home. You slit her throat, there's some sort of weird sex ritual that ends with you getting stabbed to death. But it's such a weird thing to just suddenly have at the end of the game. It made no sense.
Actually, to me, that makes sense.
At the end,
Really?
the end of this whole game, with no morality choices in this game at all, an entire game.
No,
No,
spoilers not over yet.
spoilers not over.
An entire game that's centered on you trying to save your friends.
He's pulling his ears.
All right, spoilers over now.
All right.
It didn't make sense to me to suddenly throw a morality choice at the end of a game.
Okay, so my reasoning for that, where this makes sense to me from a morality standpoint, is as far as I understand Far Cry, it's a game where you end up pretty much fighting the environment by yourself, or
Yes.
joining a rebel and fighting with them, and it's constant warfare, and you're constantly watching your back.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be a mental toll on anybody. You know what I mean? Constantly having to do this.
So what you're saying is
At
kind
the
of.
end of the game, it's kind of like the person's either going to be pure transmission. You know, what I mean, I have to get my girlfriend back. I have to get.
Should have thought that through.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You know,
what
you're
you're
gonna
saying
stay the
is
course,
which
or you're gonna break mentally.
yeah, okay, I can see how you're saying is whether he's
You guys are
becoming
still sort of talking about spoilers.
becoming jungle or becoming or
Well, no,
retaining
that's
his humanity.
that's more of a story overview. I don't even know the specifics of the game. You know what I mean? But it's a morality choice.
My dog hates actually eating food from her bowl. She likes to bring it out to the living room, drop it on the carpet, and then eat it for some reason.
Yes.
So you hear crunching. Sorry. Anyways, so I think that makes sense to me personally, and I wouldn't find any fault in that. But again,
It's
that's
just-
the kind of morality choice that I like. Is that it has a small impact, sure, but it's more of a sociological thing in my head. It's more for me than the game.
It just felt kind of weird throwing it in at the very last second of the game.
But there's definitely times where it's very poorly executed, where it's like, hey, this is a morality choice, and then you never see anything of it again. They don't even mention it. It's like they make a huge deal out of something. They're like, hey, this is super important. Do you kill your grandpa or your puppy? Choose.
Oh,
And then like they never speak of it again,
Oh,
and it's just like, what the was that?
wait! I gotta bring it up. Is it as bad as the Mass Effect series, where all those choices, every decision you make, impacts the game, and then you get
Wildly different endings. Come on.
three different. Oh,
Wildly.
sorry,
They're
three
wildly
different
different.
endings where it's just which Instagram filter did you want over your screen?
It's wildly different endings. Okay.
They had to release.
Wildly.
They had to release a special edition of the game with
look,
like 2 new endings
look,
to try and
look,
save
There's
their fans.
slightly different camera angles too. Okay.
Oh yeah, Telltale Games, which has all those morality choices throughout the games, and then same ending at the end of the season.
That's fine with me though. That doesn't mean to me that the morality choices were pointless. It's not about the end goal all the time. It's about the journey.
Okay.
Like especially in the Telltale walking games, I find that I mean personally, me in the zombie apocalypse, I'm senseless. I don't give a shit about anybody, so I'll kill anything. So in those games, it doesn't make sense for me to have morality choices. But I know people who say how heartbroken they are when they had to kill a certain character because they got so bonded with it, which is weird. But,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they're like, I understand, but those Telltale games are short.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
They're
true.
like a few hours.
So it's not like, you know what I mean, a whole epic saga where you're like invested for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Right, but they have a lot of character development.
Yes.
They do. I'm not gonna. They have great storyline. I'm not mashing it at all.
Right. Well, I'm saying that a game that has a lot of character development, you're going to get an attachment to the characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't get into that.
It is 8:30, so should probably head on our break.
All right. Well, we'll see everyone. See y'all when we come back. From the break.
Movies are only a few hours long.